are you located in Colorado?
Yes, we're in northern Colorado, Fort Collins, about an hour north of Denver. So we're very
Uh-huh.
centrally located, which means it's really easy for us to get to all the national parks in the United
Yeah,
States.
right. Great. So, how far is the national park from your studio?
Well, Rocky Mountain National Park is the closest, and it takes us about an hour to get there. So,
Wow, that's perfect.
yeah, we leave in the dark and we can be there by sunrise. But we're
Really?
also only about 8 hours from Yellowstone, so we go
Uh-huh.
through quite a lot. Badlands is only 6 hours north. So we have a bunch of national parks to choose from.
Yeah, that's great. Wonderful. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about both you and Tom, or you wanna just talk about yourself? It's up to you. Do you wanna talk about both workshops?
Yeah, yes. So I'm happy to talk about both of us. And we've got our Route 66 workshop, and I've got a bunch of pictures to show for that.
Do you offer your own workshops too, or you co-host with Tom?
Great question. We do all of our workshops together, and we are the only two instructors. So if you sign up for one of our workshops, you'll have both Tom and I on them.
Wow, so 2-for-1 deals going on, huh?
Exactly. And we also find it's nice that we have both a male and a female because we get about 50% men and 50% women on our workshops. So that's
Right.
a good thing. But
Yeah,
yeah, we're always together. We like each other, so we like teaching together.
that's great.
And
Oh, you
we have
guys are
a lot of
just
fun.
meant for each other, I guess.
Yep.
Sharing the same occupation, passion. I mean, that's great. That.
Yeah. Tom's been at it for quite a bit longer. He's been a photographer for over 30 years. And the nice thing is he buys all the camera gear. So I just,
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. So maybe, let us know how you guys met each other, and that'll be a kind of a really fun part of this interview, I guess, since
great.
this is such a special, occasion. And so yeah, so Tom started photography a long time ago.
Yeah, Tom started when we lived up in Alaska, and we moved to Alaska back in the 90s. And at that time, Alaska is a beautiful place. So
Yeah, right.
he got involved with some of the outdoor clothing companies, Patagonia and Columbia, and it's scenic. So if you put great looking people in good clothes in a scenic spot, the pictures are going to sell. So
Yeah,
he
that's
started
right.
up there
Yeah.
and was a commercial photographer, adventure sports. There's lots of glaciers and skiing and climbing. So that was a natural.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so we were definitely, we loved Alaska. We were there for 10 years. He proposed under the Northern Lights. I mean, the whole
Oh my
Alaska
gosh.
experience. And
How romantic that is.
very romantic. And we go back and do Northern Lights workshops now every year because of that. We're big fans of the Northern Lights and we want to share that
Yeah.
with people. So, yeah, so he was very involved there. And then we moved to Colorado in 2002
Mm-hmm.
and became really active down here in the national parks. When you're in Alaska, it's great to travel around Alaska, but it's hard to get in a car and go many places. So
That's
we
right.
love being able to get in the car and go to Rocky Mountain Park, which is only an hour away, or drive to Yellowstone in the winter to take pictures. So we go out and photograph together all the time. When we're not doing workshops, we're photographing. We photographed yesterday, we photographed today. Actually, this year with COVID, we've been in our backyard photographing birds ever since October. We go out 4 or 5 times a week. So very active with bird photography as well.
Yeah, I mean, people love to take picture of birds, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
so how you picked up photography?
So I started because Tom and I do so much shooting together. I started with portraits, and I taught actually high school photography and Photoshop for about 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
and was doing a lot of senior pictures for my students and helping them become portrait photographers. So I decided that I would quit that and do this full time. And really started working and running the workshop business about that time. So my background is in portrait work, but I also love macro photography, plants, and bird photography, especially. Although
Mhm.
if it's an animal, I like to photograph it. So
Yeah.
I'm much broader than that. So one of the things that's a little different about us is we both like to use studio lights.
Mhm.
And one of the things we do on our Route 66 trip is we bring full sets of studio lights, hire models, and do a lot of portrait photography as part of that workshop, which
Oh,
isn't
really?
something that everybody does. Yeah, you'll see that in the pictures coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a big part of it. The characters that used to live along Route 66, there's still some really interesting people there.
Great. Wow. So, today, I want to also focus on one of your workshops
Mhm.
coming up soon, or I don't know when, but so you used to, I mean, you and Tom used to host a lot of workshops. I guess on average, how many photography workshops do you guys offer each year?
We have 15 to 20 each year, and
Really? Wow, that's like a couple times a month?
sometimes we have 3 workshops in a month. So of
Wow, that's
the 20,
crazy.
it is crazy. We have a very busy
Oh
schedule.
my.
Before COVID, all of our workshops filled. For the last 3 years, they've all been filled. So they do tend to fill pretty quickly.
Yeah, I
And
guess.
we do 6 or 7 international trips a year, and then
Mm-hmm.
the rest are in the United States.
Oh, wow, that's great.
So
And
we stay busy.
each trip usually lasts about a week or so.
You know, our typical trip in the United States is a Wednesday evening to Sunday, so they're shorter. And
Okay.
and on our workshops, we people drive their own vehicles, so
Mm-hmm.
they can put their camera bags in there. They have plenty of space. A lot of times with our domestic trips, they have their own hotel room. They purchase their own food, so the price is less for the workshop, but it's not all inclusive. And
Mm-hmm.
we find that that way they get to choose what they want, the type of room
Right.
they want, the type of meal they want, what kind of car they want.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
speaking of car, actually, Route 66 is a fun one. Some people go out and rent very fancy cars, convertibles,
Really.
Jeeps, really fun cars because driving on Route 66 is part of the experience.
Right. Yeah, that's famous route. And so have you guys done any workshops outside the country, like Europe or Africa
Oh,
or
absolutely. Tom's done workshops on every continent, and
really?
absolutely, we stay very busy. So
Wow.
this coming year, we'll be going to the Galapagos. We have a trip to Botswana planned. We have a Norway trip planned. We're going to Australia and Tasmania. So yeah, we have a lot of destinations that we like sharing. We're in Japan right when COVID started, and just
Really?
yeah, we
Wow.
were photographing.
That you mean like that was like January last year or
January 2020 here
wow.
in Tokyo, and that was very exciting. Our very first night, there was an earthquake in the building, a slight.
Is that right? Yeah, I
It was
think I
pretty exciting
I
too, but
heard that. Yeah.
we had a great
Wow.
time.
Wow. So did you try to take the picture of that moment?
We did have somebody on our workshop who got the earthquake on his cell phone, and they had
Yeah.
great alarms. Everybody knew what was going on, so it wasn't that big of a deal. You know, in
Wow.
Alaska, we had a lot of earthquakes, so we're no strangers to that. But we thought the
Right.
Japanese infrastructure was fantastic.
Really? Wow. Okay. Wow. That sounds exciting. I mean, wow. So you guys pretty much cover everywhere in the world, like all over the world.
Yes.
Okay. So today, particularly, what workshop would you like to introduce to us?
So one of our favorite workshops is a Route 66 workshop that
Mm-hmm.
starts in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And on this one, we drive east. So we drive all the way to Amarillo, Texas on this one. And it is a traveling workshop. We call it a road trip, the Route 66 road trip. And we're going to be offering it. Our next time is October 25th through 29 in 2003. And
Oh,
we have,
okay.
that's the first time that people can sign up for it. We have one that is filled coming up this October. So we do them about every other year. And it's a fantastic trip because there's so much variety in it.
Right. So you have some photography works that you have taken, something to share with us today?
Absolutely. Let me pull those up for you. All right, so this is us in action on Route 66. So we stay at the Blue Swallow Hotel. We have the entire hotel is rented out. So part of the experience on this workshop is staying in authentic Route 66 hotels, and they're just wonderful. So
Wow.
this was a shoot we did the first night we were there. We hired the model. The owners set up the car for us in front, turned on the lights and things, on the headlights for part of it. And you can see here, these are different students taking pictures. This is Tom holding the light. And so
Oh, okay.
they got a great shot. And actually, this picture, I took this shot and it ended up on the cover of Digital Photo Pro magazine.
Oh,
Um,
really?
Yep.
Wow.
So one of my,
Congratulations.
thank you. And that was right from the workshop with our students in it, which was pretty.
Wow. Great.
So here's the shot during the early light. This was sunrise. And
Mhm.
this is the property with a different car. So a big part of Route 66 is shooting neon, and it shoots best in the early morning and blue hour. So we make sure that we have the best locations for those times of the trip. Now, one of the other things that we do that is pretty exciting is in Albuquerque, we shoot at the Route 66 diner, and we get
Uh,
access to the diner before anybody shows up. And they have a couple of the employees in their uniforms show up. And you can see here, this is without studio light, natural light, but it's a great way to do really fun portraits. And
yeah,
the
it
other
looks so
side of the
fun.
camera, yeah, it's a
Oh,
really
look at
fun
that.
and quirky part. They make hamburgers for us and milkshakes and French fries and pies. And even without anybody in it, just the scene itself is so colorful and vibrant that it's one of our favorite shoots. So we always
Yeah.
get private access to the restaurant for about an hour before it opens. And then everybody wants to stay and eat food and take more pictures anyway.
Wow. That's great.
The
Wonderful.
hotel that we stay at in Albuquerque is pretty amazing. It's the historic Elvato Motel, and it's just been renovated, and they dropped a couple of $1 million into it. So now it feels like a luxury vintage hotel.
Yeah,
And
really.
this was our first night. We started again with hired talent and studio lights, and we let people take pictures. So they didn't have to have their own lights, and they got to learn how to use studio lights and work with models starting on day one. Here's a place that we go to, one of the stops along the way, Midpoint, and all along the road, they've got this great signage, both neon signs, but also signs in the middle of the road. So we're always stopping along these quirky little spots and taking pictures. Like this is a midday shot. So we do a lot of driving during the midday times to get us at our best locations during prime time. This is a good example of prime time where you've got neon lights and beautiful skies behind it. The skies in New Mexico in October are stunning. So it's
Mhm.
not uncommon that you'll get this kind of sky every single night for the backgrounds to the neon.
Only 29.99 for
You know what?
2?
The rooms are very, very cheap.
I
So
know.
it
Wow.
used to be very crowded, and now the hotels, the most we pay is $129 for these vintage hotels. So they're very inexpensive and they're
Yeah.
really fun. They have this legacy of being motor courts. So they set it up so that the guests will sit outside at night and drink a beer or a glass of wine and just chat with each other about the day. The social part of this trip is really fun.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
So during the day, things shoot really well as well. This is in Tucumcari, which is where the Blue Swallow is. And we spend a day and a half here looking for different parts of town that we can shoot, walking around. The cars are fantastic. One of the things we like to do with our car shots is get low to really see the chrome and the logos and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
we shoot cars outside. We also go to a car museum in Santa Rosa in New Mexico and take pictures indoors of cars. Here's the Elvato with a really stormy sky that came in one time. That's our first night's hotel. They've got a
Yeah.
tap room right on site, so lots of fun. We do indoor shooting as well. There's all these little Route 66 kind of kitschy items for sale in shops. So everybody buys t-shirts and keychains and all kinds of things.
How fun.
It's really fun. You know what? That's really what this is. It's a super fun, colorful workshop. It's
I
different from
know.
almost any other one.
Yeah.
Lots of old gas stations. So Conoco, Phillips 66, these shoot really well midday. So we'll do a lot of stops on our way to Texas during the middle of the day and talk about good ways and good angles to get the shot. All right, you ready for one of the quirkiest places we go to?
Sure. Shoot me.
Cadillac Ranch.
Oh my.
This is outside of Amarillo, Texas, and it's all these Cadillacs that are lined up and buried in the dirt. And people have been spray painting them for years. I mean, talk about a
Unbelievable.
fun place to photograph. So they
Wow.
look great during the day, but wait, at night with the speed light, they look even better. It's just
Oh
like
my
you're on a rock.
goodness.
Yeah, it's a super fun place. And so this
Wow.
is the highlight for a lot of people. And you can actually buy spray paint and add your own little
Really? You
style.
can do that?
Absolutely. You can see the little cans. So there's stores nearby, and it's a wonderful place to photograph because it's so unique.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Here's an example of some of the vintage architecture that you see. You know, during the 30s, 40s, 50s, this would have been a bustling gas station. And now it's deserted. So our whole group was able to get, and actually several of them lied down on the ground to get the wide angle perspective. So this is a great workshop for wide angle lenses, 70 to 200. You really don't need long glass for this one. But if you're
Mm-hmm.
a landscape shooter, it's just there's an amazing things to shoot. Food is part of it. This is from our favorite chili dog hot dog stand in Albuquerque. It was made famous by the TV show Breaking Bad. So we do some food shots indoors. We also shoot the neon outside to tell the whole travel story. This is from the car museum in Santa Rosa. It's got this beautiful black and white floor and plenty of things to shoot along the way. This is the
Wow.
another $29.95. It's not the
Really? Yeah.
and
Wow.
dramatic skies, and we took advantage of that to shoot at night. So here's another one, the Palomino. This one's upscaled, $36.95 instead of $29.95.
That's
So
expensive.
and then we have the Wigwam Hotel, which is pretty interesting as well. They've got all these great Chevrolets, and we find that the people along the way are just fantastic. This was one of the waitresses in one of the diners that we go to. So we eat diner food the whole time. The food is part of it, and we try to shoot not only the food, but the people that deliver it.
Yeah, they look delicious.
Well, thank you. There's one other thing I wanted to share with you, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure.
And that is we have a Adobe Spark of our show. And this kind of gives you an example of the people and some of our workshop participants along the way. So some of these you've seen before, but here's another model that we hired for the Elvato. We wanted a cowboy, and he was very popular with the ladies. Here's the doghouse where these hot dogs came from. And we shoot the Chemo Theater in Albuquerque. This is from the downtown old Albuquerque area of the cathedral there. So a little historic bent. You've seen
Right.
some of these. This is the car museum, people getting low to get the hubcaps and the front grille there. And this is our group, down on the ground trying to get a low perspective to really make that roof come alive. We tend to have on this workshop 12 people, and it always fills. So that's the
Mhm.
size of our group. And they have a lot of fun. A lot of people that went last time
Yeah,
can't
I
wait
see
to go
that.
back. Yeah.
So you usually try to maintain the size down to about 12?
Yes, on a lot of our workshops, we have 10 to 12, and there's two instructors, so it's a 6-to-1 ratio, and
Mm-hmm.
that works really well for us. This
Yeah, I
uh,
guess.
the Pontiac headlight from this Pontiac here. It looked beautiful with,
Wow,
uh,
yeah.
yep, they came
Such
out
a
and
fine art.
well, little edgy.
Yeah,
And
wow.
different scenes. This is Tucumcari, and it's just one neon sign after another. It's a pretty spectacular spot. So this was a great little spot. This is in Glen Rio, right on the border of New Mexico and Texas, and two of our participants. And this is where the original Grapes of Wrath was shot in 1930. So lots of
Wow.
really interesting things, and we have a lot of fun just getting people out there and trying new things. So those are the
Yeah.
photos I had for you. What do you think?
Oh my, it's just a pack of fun and learning experience. So you're having fun while learn. Oh, that's great.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
lots of different genres. The
So you
prices,
have a lot of people coming back over and over, like
yeah.
like a repeat customers.
You know, we have a lot of repeat customers. People have been doing workshops with Tom for 25 years. So sometimes when we post workshops, we had one last year that sold out in 7 hours. So
Oh,
it's
is that right?
yeah.
Wow. Great. Good for you. Yeah. I mean, looking at all this, I mean, it's hard to imagine not to going back. I mean, you just wait for another year, then just go back there. And it's like, a routine of your life. Yeah.
I agree. Well, and we love to see when people decide to go back on their own too, that they have enough
Yeah.
skills that they can do it. But I think
Yeah.
on this workshop with the models and the access that we get, we offer a lot. And
Yeah.
people like, and our groups, that a lot of them know each other too. So they want to go back and
Right.
hang out
Yeah.
with
It's
other
like a
photographers.
reunion party each
Exactly.
year. Yeah. That's
So this
great.
feels like a step back into time too. You really do
Oh,
feel
yeah.
you're staying at the hotel and
I
eating at the
know.
diners, that it's a whole
Yeah.
different experience.
Yeah. It's like the time just on pause or something.
It's a time warp. It is a time warp photography workshop.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing this. And we are going to edit this interview and then try to make it into a YouTube video. And then we're going to circulate over social media and our newsletters and also through the YouTube sites. So
Wonderful.
hopefully, yeah, people get to know more about this wonderful event as long as they stay safe.
Yeah, well, once you hear about it, you'll keep going back to Route 66. People keep
Yeah,
saying, when are you going to do the part from Albuquerque to California? And they want more because it's so
I
interesting.
know.
And it
Yeah,
does
that's
set up
great.
photographers. You do this stretch and you can go explore the rest on your own or with friends.
Yeah, and I know I've seen a lot of nature and wildlife, especially bird photography workshops you guys listed on the directory. So I really like to talk about those too. Maybe in near future, we can call you back and you can talk about
Anytime, anytime you
birds.
want feedback from workshop leaders or
Yeah,
you want to do a different genre, I'd be happy to do it in a heartbeat. We're all
great.
happy to chat. Uh,
Yeah.
and help you out too. If you
Oh
ever need
yeah, of
feedback from how
course.
the site's working, we're more than happy to talk with you. We
Yeah,
appreciate the
and
opportunity.
Yeah, sure. And I'm especially curious about all these wonderful birds that you have in your own backyard.
Oh, that has been phenomenal. So
Yeah, I mean,
we have 20 species of birds. So
really?
we've got
Wow.
some temporary blinds, and we
Uh-huh.
shoot with a 600 and a 500, and we're 10, 15 feet away from these birds,
Oh,
laying
yeah.
on perches that we've arranged. And
Why don't I send you an email later on, and why don't you just schedule one for bird photography? I think people will love to see all this bird, you know, birds pictures, and maybe take photography courses on those birds.
we would love to do that. A lot of what inspired us is the South Texas Birds workshop that we do. So
Yeah,
I could show you not only pictures from there, but how we took that and made our own backyard habitat. That might be interesting.
right. Yeah. Do you have one that's coming up soon? The bird photography?
You know, all of our trips coming up soon are full.
Oh, really? So we have to wait until 2022?
Yes, we have some spaces
Wow,
available in
you
22.
guys,
They're filling fast. That's good.
wow, you've been doing really busy. Wow.
Well, you know, the big thing is we taught online. We had 13 different class courses that we taught, and some of them we taught as many as 5 times. So our
Mm-hmm.
clientele has been very busy
Mm-hmm.
during stay at home, and we've been busy, and they've been developing their skills. And instead of losing interest, they're getting more and more excited
Yeah,
because
right.
now they
Good.
want to learn what they've learned and apply it on their trips.
Right. Wow, good for you. Well, thank you
You
so
bet.
much. And it's been so fun just hearing about what you say and what to find Tom's Route 66 road trip workshop. Go to directory for photography.com. Directory number 4 photography.com. So here is directory for photography.com, International Directory of Photography Workshops and Showcase. Okay, so there are a lot of photography events going on this directory. So to search Tom's photography workshop, on the left column, click search photo events button here. Then here's a search form, search by keyword, type in Tom Bol and search. So here are all the workshops hosted by Tom and Cree Bol. So here's a Route 66 road trip. Click on it. Nice image of a motel on the Route 66. Okay, and here's all the details. Nice photo images again. For more info, click here. Then you'll be directed to Tom's own website where you can see all the schedules for his upcoming photo workshops 2021, 2022, 2023. So you see 2021, there are lots of workshops, 2022, and you go 2023, here's a Route 66 headed east. Let's click on it. Okay, so this event is scheduled for October 25th through 29th, 2023. Currently, two spaces available, so I guess you better hurry up and sign up now if you'd like to join this fun trip. Okay, that's all for today, and thank you so much again, and see you soon.